Yeah. Hasn't been a great start. We're not going to panic. Instead, this week, I have a pep talk for my bets.
Defense on me.
Okay, Petey, don't you drift to the strong side.
Coach, they're calling a holding penalty on me every time.
Did I ask for your excuses? You want to act like a star? You better give me a star effort. Do you hear me?
Forget about him. Allen, you're in. Come on.
All right. Now, I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night. And if they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm going to take every last one of you out. You make sure that they remember forever.
Week 3 of Uncle Dan's Best Bets. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Uncle Dan's Best Bets here on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel, presented by Connors and Ferris. Thank you, as always, for joining me here. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. We really appreciate it as this continues to grow. We will get to the picks in a minute, but housekeeping duties, as always, special thank you to Bob Johnson Auto Group. Appreciate them, as always. Said it before, wife and I both lease through Bob Johnson. We work with Daryl out in Leroy. He's great. I drive a GMC. We both drive GMC Terrains. Love them there. So again, special thanks to them. If you need anything to buy, lease, sell, anything like that, please be sure to check out Bob Johnson and tell them Uncle Dan told you. Okay. So as we get to the picks, hasn't been great. No. 4-6-1 last week. We started to have a bigger card. That being said, the Cowboys got shellacked to ruin our teaser there that we had with the Bills money line as well. Dalton Kincaid got nicked up. He looked like he was on track to hit his over. And the Rams was a complete total swing and miss. That being said, just like my pep talk, forget about him. Forget about weeks 1 and 2. We move on to week 3. We've got 9 more plays this week, including 2 more plays. Lather, rinse, repeat in the Bills game. 5, 10, and 2 right now on the season. No panic, but let's hit some winners. All right, so again, 9 cards, week 3. We're back on track. We had our Remember the Titans pep talk, and let's get right to it. I like the Chargers +1 at the Pittsburgh Steelers. I just don't think this Steelers team can continue to get away with games the way they are. I love what Jim Harbaugh has done since taking over for the Chargers. He has brought physicality to them, and I think that works perfectly in this game. Chargers ran the ball well, neutralized the pass rush. Steelers have a great defense. This game is a super low total at the time of I'm taping this on Thursday night. I believe the total is 35.5. In those low total games, I always like to take the points. So we'll take the Chargers +1 and the hook. Also, Justin Herbert traveling east, not an issue for him. He is 10-4 in his career against the spread in the Eastern time zone. This is not Tomlin as a dog at home, so we can bet against him. I just don't think it's sustainable that the Steelers can be so bad offensively and try and survive in the defense. I think the Chargers can do enough offensively. This seems like a game that Harbaugh will love, the physicality. I like the Chargers here. They stayed out east. I like the Chargers here +1.5. This is my don't think, just throw pick of the week. I will take the Saints -2.5. This line has swung massively after the Monday night game where the Eagles lost. I believe the Eagles were a 3-point favorite at the look-ahead line. This line has now shifted completely the other way. The Saints are now -2.5. I will take them. I think the Eagles defense is a real problem. And I don't mean problem in a good way. I think they have a lot of issues. Derek Carr is hot. The Eagles on a short week. I don't think they have the leadership necessarily to bounce back from that type of a loss in just awful fashion. So I will take the Saints, who are playing well, get them at home. That place will be rocking with the Saints being 2-0. I'll just bet the hot hand right now. I will take the hot team. This may be the sucker play. This is my don't think, just throw. Take the Saints. Derek Carr has been involved in 15 drives for the Saints so far this season. The Saints have scored on all 15 drives. So I like the Saints minus 2.5. Weird bet of the week for you. Packers plus 1.5 against the Titans in the second half. You follow me? So if you go on DraftKings, wherever you find it, go to the halves total category. I like the Packers plus 1.5 for the second half at the Tennessee Titans. There's also an offshoot chance that Jordan Love actually plays in this game. He's practiced. Matt LaFleur says they will wait up until 90 minutes to kick off to see if he plays. If not, you're going to get Malik Willis, who looked fine. I just like this Packers team. I think they're complete. I think they got the better coach. Will Levis screwed us last week. I think the Titans were the right play of that the entire game. He took points away from us. We had him at +3. They lost by 4, and he literally had the 2 dumbest plays of the season so far. I think his Packers defense is pretty good. So I will take the Packers plus 1.5 for the second half. And the reason I'm making that play, Will Levis has started 11 games in his career. He is 1-10 against the spread in the second half. Where else are you getting this kind of info? Where else are you getting it? Kind of a weird stat, but we'll take that game. As for, look, guys, I like to bet the over. That's my thing. Life's too short to bet the under, right? Except this season, this kind of sucks. I'm trying to find an over. I'm trying to find overs. Can't find them. We know offenses are down. We know the running game is up. So I will take the under. Lions and Cardinals. It's under 51.5. I talked last week about overs or totals that were 49 and over. The unders hitting at about 76% the last few years. These high totals, they're just not going over. This is a total of 51.5. I'll take the under. Totals of 50 plus this season are 3-0 to the under. So I will take the under in the Lions-Cardinals game. I'll also take the Lions -3 in Arizona. It's a dome. Jared Goff bounces back very well. I think this Lions team shot themselves in the foot so much in the red zone last week against the Buccaneers. That trend can't continue. I think they scored touchdowns this week. I think the Cardinals come back down to earth a little bit. I don't see them scoring 30-something points every single week. I actually like Detroit's secondary against Marvin Harrison Jr., things like that. I will take the under in that game as well as the Lions -3. All right, couple stinky plays. Vikings +2 at home against the Houston Texans. Shorter week for the Houston Texans. I also don't think the Texans played all that great against the Bears. I know Caleb Williams got rocked, but that Bears offensive line is terrible. If Caleb would have led them down the field, what would this line be? But I'm getting a small dog in this game. And this is, the public has been really bad. I talked week 1 about how last year the public money had their best season since like 2002. Right now, the public is getting killed. So this is the sharp play. 41% of the bets are on the Vikings, but 64% of the money. So this is the sharp play. We will go with the Vikings. I like the way their defense is playing. I was wrong last week against taking them against the 49ers. So I will take the Vikings +2 at home against the Houston Texans. I wasn't overly impressed by they were against the Bears. So I will, while everybody may love this offense, and I really do think the Texans are Super Bowl contenders this week, I will take the Vikings at home to move to 3-0. If not, cover that spread. Here's the smelliest play of the week. This is gross. Everything about this is gross. I almost bet the Giants +6 against the Cleveland Browns because underdogs of 6 or more are 8-0 this season. Dogs have been barking. But then I remembered that the Cleveland defensive line is really good and they may eat Daniel Jones alive because the Giants line can't do anything. And while the Giants looked competent last week, the Commanders' defense is really bad. They only scored 21 points. They only scored 19 points. I wanted to back my boy Daboll in this spot. I can't do it, but I found one even worse. I found a bet even worse. Give me the Denver Broncos +6.5 at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What are you doing? So Action Network has this thing, shout out to them, where they track luck. We don't talk about luck enough, maybe sometimes in games and betting, things like that. They can track the success rate of offense, the success rates of defense, what kind of what normally should happen in certain games and things like that. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the second luckiest team through 2 weeks. Second luckiest team. Partly because the Detroit Lions had 6 trips into the red zone last week and came away with just 9 points. If you were to say that again, a team goes into the red zone or gets 6 drives in the red zone, they would normally score more than 9 points. So that's kind of the luck factor about it. The unluckiest team in the NFL is the Denver Broncos. So you have the 32nd luckiest team versus the second luckiest team. And the Action Network says that when there has been a spread of rankings of 30, a difference of 30, the unluckiest team is 7-1 in those games. This is a massive thing. The Denver Broncos suck. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are great. Not so fast. They actually said that the Broncos had a better offensive efficiency than the Pittsburgh Steelers last week. Things like that, like this Denver team may not be as bad as we think when it comes to this luck factor that goes into it. So I will take the disgusting Denver Broncos on the road, +6.5. Hold your nose. Don't watch the game. Just hope this game is close and that Bo Nix doesn't throw too many interceptions. Okay. And for the Bills and Jags on Monday night, 2 plays, lather, rinse, repeat. Khalil Shakir over 44.5 receiving yards. Didn't hit it last week, but again, he's the main go-to guy. I think Jacksonville's pass rush is legit. I think the solution to that will be quick passes, wide receiver bubble screens, and tight end bubble screens. So Khalil Shakir has caught all 8 passes thrown his way. Sorry about my phone. I think Khalil Shakir will continue to play well. He's the go-to guy for Josh Allen. I don't think over 44.5 is asking too much. He's averaging 48 so far through 2 weeks. I'll take Khalil Shakir in the over. I will also take Dalton Kincaid. I'm not afraid. We will go right back to these 2 things. Again, Jaguars pass rush, really good. Bubble screens to Dalton Kincaid. All he's got to do is break a couple of them. 8-10 yards a pop. We're all good. All fine and dandy. There it is. Simple. 9 plays. We got the picks all fired up by Coach. Remember the Titans. Again, Chargers +1, Saints -2.5, Packers +1.5 in the second half, Lions Cards under 51.5, Lions -3, Vikings +2, Broncos +6.5. Again, underdogs of 6 or more so far this season are 8-0 against the spread. And then Shakir and Kincaid over as well. Let's get back on track. 5 games under 500 is not what we do here. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. As always, we will bounce back. We're not panicking yet. I've got other videos if things go really south, but that's what my plays are for this week. A 9-pack of plays to get back on track. Thanks again to Bob Johnson. Thanks again for you to watching. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment in with your picks. I know I haven't been good. Trust me. Stay with me. We'll get back on track. Make sure to gamble and bet responsibly. Thanks again, as always. Best of luck to you this weekend. We'll catch you here next time on Uncle Dan's Best Bets.